Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. Lusignan prison successfully manages a chickenpox outbreak, while a woman tragically passes away 1 month after an accident on Brick Dam. Additionally, Leonard Bristol is sentenced to prison and fined for drug trafficking. Moreover, a tragic accident claims the life of a mother of 3 in Lethem, and a cell phone belonging to a murdered taxi driver is found in the possession of a slain prison escapee. Furthermore, the Guyana police force and canoe destroy millions worth of narcotics, and a pedestrian is fatally struck by a vehicle on the west coast Demerara. Stay tuned for more updates as a juvenile suspect is caught attempting theft on the East Bank Demerara. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest news.
Lusignan prison successfully manages chickenpox outbreak. The director of prisons, Mr. Nick Elliott, has affirmed that the recent outbreak of chickenpox at Lusignan prison has been effectively contained. Immediate action was taken upon receiving reports of inmates exhibiting itchy rashes, with affected individuals promptly examined by medical personnel and placed under quarantine after diagnosis. Mr. Guyana, the officer in charge of Lusignan prison, along with the medical team, has been actively involved in contact tracing efforts to identify the source of the outbreak. Presently, there are 25 active cases of chickenpox, with 28 individuals in the recovery phase. Guyana has reassured that comprehensive measures have been implemented to prevent further spread of the virus. The preventive measures include administering medications such as acyclovir and calamine lotion, increasing sanitation frequency to 3 times daily, sunning out mattresses and clothing, sterilizing eating utensils and personal items, following vaccination protocols, and conducting daily medical assessments. While acknowledging the discomfort caused by chickenpox symptoms, which typically last for 2 weeks, special attention is being provided to affected individuals. Collaborative efforts between prison administration and the medical team aim to mitigate further instances of the virus within the facility. Mr. Elliott emphasized the paramount importance of safeguarding the health and well-being of both inmates and prison staff. He urged against panic, highlighting the proactive measures in place to effectively address the situation. The prison administration remains vigilant and committed to ensuring a safe and healthy environment within Lusignan prison. Woman dies 1 month after tragic accident on Brick Dam. It is with deep regret we announce the passing of 30-year-old Temeka Kerr, who tragically succumbed to injuries sustained in a devastating collision with a sand truck nearly 1 month ago. Kerr's life was cut short following a horrific accident near the junction of Brick Dam and Camp Streets. The incident occurred in the early hours of February 25, 2024, as Kerr was maneuvering her vehicle onto Camp Street from Brick Dam. Suddenly, a speeding sand truck collided with her car, crushing it and hurling it a considerable distance away. The impact left Kerr and her passenger, Natoya Campbell, with severe head and other injuries. Campbell, who also sustained critical injuries, remains hospitalized, fighting for survival. Despite signs of progress, Kerr's condition remained critical in the days following the accident. Despite the tireless efforts of medical staff, she eventually succumbed to her injuries this morning at around 03:30 Both Kerr and Campbell were initially admitted to the Intensive Care Unit, ICU, at the Georgetown Public Hospital, GPHC. While Campbell showed signs of improvement and was eventually transferred out of ICU, Kerr's condition showed minimal progress. She was later transferred to the National Infectious Diseases Hospital at Liliendal, where she passed away. Leonard Bristol sentenced to prison and fined for drug trafficking. Leonard Bristol faced sentencing before Magistrate Mac Gusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he was convicted of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. The court handed down a 3-year prison sentence and imposed a fine of $10,492,200 Guyanese dollars on Bristol. Bristol was found guilty of possessing 11.658 kilograms of cannabis with the intent to traffic. The severity of the offense led to the imposition of both imprisonment and a substantial fine. The sentencing underscores the legal consequences of drug trafficking in Guyana, emphasizing the judiciary's commitment to upholding the law and deterring criminal activities related to narcotics. Bristol's case serves as a reminder of the strict penalties individuals may face upon conviction for drug-related offenses in the country. Tragic accident claims life of mother of 3 in Lethem. In a heart-wrenching incident on Friday afternoon, a mother of 3 tragically lost her life after being struck down by a speeding vehicle while crossing a public road in Lethem, Region 9, Upper Takatu Upper Essequibo. The victim, identified as 48-year-old Shamel Lavina Lindy, affectionately known as Auntie Shamel, or a dumb girl, resided at Lot 48 Culvert City, Lethem. The incident occurred around 12:30 p.m. when Shamel, who had a disability affecting her speech and hearing, was in the midst of her routine crossing of the Lethem public road, a path she had traversed countless times. Eyewitnesses recounted the horrific moment when a pickup truck, driven by a young motorist, collided with Shamel, dragging her for a distance and inflicting fatal injuries. Despite the prompt efforts of bystanders to render assistance, Auntie Shamel tragically succumbed to her injuries at the scene. According to the victim's sister, Sandra Lindy, Shamel earned a living by doing odd jobs and was en route to a family member's business when the accident occurred. Following the collision, the driver allegedly attempted to flee the scene, but a vigilant bystander apprehended him before he could escape. The grieving sister expressed profound shock and disbelief over Shamel's sudden and untimely demise, highlighting her sister's widespread recognition and presence in the community. The family is now seeking justice for the tragic loss of their beloved Shamel. Cell phone belonging to murdered taxi driver found in possession of slain prison escapee. In a chilling twist to a recent string of violent crimes, investigators have uncovered a cell phone among the belongings of slain prison escapee Akeem Wong, which has been confirmed to be the property of a taxi driver and his mother who were brutally murdered earlier this month at Saxacali, Essequibo River, Region 3. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham has verified this unsettling discovery. The victims, identified as David Gomez, a 49-year-old driver of Durban Street, Wortmanville, Georgetown, and his 75-year-old mother, Elizabeth Nelia Gomez, were viciously attacked and chopped to death on March 8, 2024. Suspicion immediately fell on Akeem Wong, who had escaped from the Mazaruni prison on February 15, as he was known to have been at the Gomez property at Saxacali, where he received sustenance. Following a relentless manhunt, Wong met his end last Sunday at a Grit Creek back dam, Essequibo River in Region No. 7, after he charged at members of the joint services wielding a cutlass and was fatally shot. In a chilling revelation, detectives examining Wong's possessions after his demise made a disturbing discovery. Among his belongings was a black Samsung Galaxy phone containing a photograph of David Gomez displayed on the device. Further investigation revealed multiple videos and images of David Gomez, including his national identification card and driver's license. Additionally, 2 of the 3 SIM cards found in Wong's possession were registered to David Gomez, while the origin of the 3rd SIM card is linked to a foreign telephone company. Guyana police force and canoe destroy millions worth of narcotics. Earlier today, the Guyana police force conducted a significant narcotics destruction exercise, annihilating a total of 2,253.60 kilograms of marijuana with an estimated street value of approximately $2,028,240,000 Guyana dollars. The operation took place at the former Ministry of Housing tarmac on Homestretch Avenue. The seized narcotics spanned a period from January 2023 to the present, with the majority of seizures concentrated in Police Regional Divisions No. 5 and No. 6, supplemented by minor seizures in Regions No. 4 and No. 10. Numerous individuals were charged and brought before the courts in connection with these seizures, while various abandoned plantations were also discovered. In addition to the efforts of the Guyana Police Force, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, contributed to the operation by destroying 512 kilograms of narcotics, equivalent to $153 million Guyana dollars. The event was attended by several prominent figures, including the Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Robeson Ben, Mr. Troy Whitaker, Officer in Charge of Police Narcotics, and Mr. James Singh, Director of CANU, alongside other members of the Guyana Police Force and CANU. Pedestrian fatally struck by vehicle on west coast Demerara. Tragedy struck on Saturday morning as 20-year-old Warren Jr. Thomas lost his life after being struck by a car while lying on the Zeeburg Public Road, west coast Demerara, WCD. Thomas, a resident of area G. D. Willem Public Road, WCD, succumbed to his injuries shortly after the incident. The fatal collision occurred around 22:10 HRS when a vehicle bearing registration PZZ 4005, owned by Sheriff Security Services and driven by 29-year-old Okasi Rodwell Stewart, ran over Thomas. According to initial police reports, Thomas was lying on the southern parapet of the public road when the vehicle struck him. Following the collision, Thomas fled the scene, while the driver of the vehicle stopped momentarily to speak with another driver whose vehicle was stationary nearby. After this brief interaction, the driver resumed his journey and drove off in an eastern direction, leaving Thomas injured at the scene. Thomas was subsequently found in an unconscious state and rushed to Leonora Cottage Hospital for medical attention. Despite efforts to save him, Thomas succumbed to his injuries around 02:10 HRS Saturday. Police authorities reviewed CCTV footage of the incident and later apprehended the driver, Stewart, after he returned to the scene on Saturday morning. Stewart is currently in custody assisting with the ongoing investigation into the tragic incident. The community is left mourning the loss of Warren Jr. Thomas, and authorities are working diligently to determine the circumstances surrounding the accident and ensure justice for the victim and his grieving loved ones. Juvenile suspect caught attempting theft on East Bank Demerara. A suspected thief, identified as a juvenile, found himself in a tight spot after being caught on camera by the victim while attempting to steal on the East Bank Demerara, EBD. Reports indicate that the juvenile, along with 2 accomplices, entered a yard with the intention to steal but were intercepted by the owner and his associates. Although 2 of the suspects managed to evade capture, the juvenile was apprehended by the property owner and questioned about his actions. In a surprising turn of events, the young suspect claimed that he had entered the yard merely to ask for a phone call and was unaware of any plans to steal. He stated, I just come, right, fa just make a phone call, right. I ask the man them for a drop, I never know the man come fa steal, right sir. However, under further questioning, the juvenile admitted that it was his first attempt at theft and disclosed the names of his companions. Following the confrontation, the juvenile was handed over to authorities and taken to a nearby police station for further investigation.